Okay, this painting has been sitting here for a couple of days. I've been letting it dry, so we ought to be good to add some of the clouds in now that go over the top of the mountain. I have my linseed oil out here. This is a little 1/2 inch dagger brush. You notice the tip of that, it's kind of flared out. It's been used a lot. I save all my old brushes that have been flared out because they work good for certain applications in painting. And I'm going to dip into my linseed oil. I've got some Naples yellow and some scarlet, and I'm going to mix them together in about equal proportions, and then I'm going to mix it in with some white. I'm going to go up here, and my light is coming from the right side, so I'm going to pick out some of these cloud shapes I already have and just kind of accentuate them with a brighter, kind of a highlight edge on it. See, now that the background's dry, I can really kind of rub that and soften it as much as I can, as much as I want. And you can go more to the yellow side or the red side with this highlight on the cloud. Whatever makes you feel happy, I guess. Now, I'm going to take another brush that I have, same kind of brush, and I can put some, for the shadow side of it, I can use a little purple blue and white, and I want to add a little bit of phthalo blue to that, because I don't want it too purple. I just kind of want to put in a deeper shadow side on some of these clouds that are more forward. Maybe not that dark. Blend it into that light side you already put in. You can kind of let some of this come down in front of them mountains, because these are like the low-hanging clouds that you see go in front of the mountains sometimes. Back to my highlight brush now. Got two different brushes, one with highlight, one with dark. Add some more highlight back in. I'm going to bring this right down in front of this mountain. A little bit more white on this one. More white and less linseed oil, so it's not as transparent, because I kind of want it covering that up a little bit. doing the circular motions and just kind of making cloud shapes. Back in on here with some white. I want this edge to be a little bit whiter. I kind of want it coming down, maybe just a little, the very top of that mountain shown. I kind of want it coming down and maybe behind this mountain and in front of the mountain back there. Even some of that mountain show through. Okay, now I'm going back to that yellow and red mixture. Nope, that's too red. Dull that down a little bit. I want to set the sky on fire. There we go. Some of my paintings I've gone that with a real red in the sky like that, but not on this one. That'd be more for like a sunset type painting where it makes the clouds glow. Just a little bit more of that dark in there. Alright, let's go to our, I got a smaller mop brush, so I can get in tighter areas. I'm going to go through here and soften those clouds. Leaving the action, but just knocking the rough edges off of it. That looks pretty good. That's kind of what I want. Now, just looking at it, I think maybe I want some down here too. So I'm going to start with some white and put that in and see how it looks coming in front of them mountains. Like that. Let this go kind of right off the edge there. Alright, back to my darker color. Paintbrush with a dark color on it. back to the mop brush. Let's smooth that one out just a little bit. Okay, that gets my point across. I think that's all the clouds I'm going to put going across the mountains like that. Now these mountains have just a little, this is summer, this photo was taken in the summer, so what I'm going to do is take a liner brush. This is a number 4 liner brush. Notice all my brushes have this pretty long handle on them. I got a few that don't, but for the most part I have long handled brushes. I'm going to take some straight titanium white, and I'm going to go in here and lay some snow. Just a little bit of snow in certain areas on this mountain. Just on the highest parts, because it's, like I said, it's summer, so the only place that snows left right on the highest parts of the mountain. There are a couple areas where it kind of got down a little bit lower, but not too low. Over here on this one. Okay, that's about all I want with the snow. Alright, now, I think just for a separator, it's not in my photograph. I was kind of debating on this, but I think I actually want some fog down here at the base. It kind of helps separate. It kind of helps separate your layers, and also it just looks really cool. Fog at the base of a mountain in a painting. So kind of like you do with the clouds, I'm just kind of going in here with straight white. I got a little bit of that yellow and red mixture in there too, and we'll let some of that get in there. In fact, I might get a bigger brush for this just to get it on quicker. Not that one. I think I'm going to use a fan brush for this. I got an old fan brush here. It's been beaten up and worn. I'm going to dip a little bit into the linseed oil. Okay. Yeah, that kind of works better. Gets on there quicker too. And for this, I think I'm going to dip into the purple blue a little bit. See what that looks like. I actually like that. Okay. Going back to my mop brush, and we're gonna soften that and smooth it out. And that makes it nice. See, the more linseed oil I put in it, you can see that color underneath. Kind of lets it show through. Gives it that foggy or cloudy effect where you can still see through it. Okay, now I'm going to start adding in the foreground landscape areas. So for that I need some burnt umber. We're going to do burnt umber and phthalo blue. I'll probably go ahead and add some of that scarlet in with it just because I have that laying out here. And I want to make sure I use it up. Accidentally put cobalt blue on my palette. I want phthalo blue instead. I might dip into the cobalt though now that I got it on there. But first let's do phthalo blue and burnt umber and a little bit of that scarlet mixed in with it. Let's see what that looks like. Now I want some foreground foothills or whatever you want to call them, coming down in front of that mountain. You know, make sure you get all this white area covered up down at the bottom. And actually I think I want to bring this all the way up here. Let's do that. Bring it all the way up here. Yep, I like that better. So it gives good contrast between the see, this is light colored now. Now that you're putting this real dark color in front of it, see how it sets that way back in the distance. Gives your painting depth. One of the big keys to painting mountains is don't make your background mountains too dark. I actually have to hold myself back from making them stand out too much because it gets fun. You really want to make them stand out, you know, because it's a big mountain and everything. But you just need to remember that they look better when they're set back in the distance like that. It makes it look more realistic. Now for this part we can actually go to a bigger brush because we can get it on here a lot faster. So I'm going to go to this 1-inch brush here. And we're going to start moving quick. And I just want to cover up the entire bottom with this color. further down I go, I go ahead and put some of that cobalt blue in there, since I already had it on the palette. Over on this side, we're going to have another hill kind of, I don't know, come down and do something like this. I just want to show that mountain in the middle there, that background mountain. And just kind of go like that. Make sure you make this top edge fairly defined. Okay, now the top's pretty dark. The lower we go, we can make it, doesn't matter really what color it is. So what I start doing here is any paint that I don't want to waste, I got left over on my palette. I got a bunch of green here from another painting, and yellows, and anything but white, because I don't want to make it that light in color. But I'll just add this, I'll add all that down here just for a background color. I just want to get paint on the canvas, make it kind of dark is what I'm after. All those tones kind of actually give you a variety of color. Dipped into some mineral spirits here just to thin this out, make it get on here quicker. Just looking to stain the canvas. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, now that we did that, I can take a liner brush, if I can find it. I'm going to go back with some burnt umber. Phthalo blue. Just those two colors for kind of a dark color. Now, coming up off the top of these mountains, you got faraway trees, all kinds of stuff happening. So for right now, I want to show some faraway trees kind of happening on this, right on the top of this mountain, kind of silhouetted. And these are the pine trees, so I'll make them kind of a pine tree shape. But there's all kinds of stuff happening on the side of this hill. I mean, there's shrubs, all kinds of stuff. I'm just kind of silhouetting them in there. Just putting like some downward strokes in there, and then I'm doing some side to side thing, you know, kind of making it look like a tree. Doing a few different things. I just don't want a straight edge on there. Now, right here on this edge, I might keep it straight just because I'll turn that into maybe a kind of a rock cliff type deal. Okay, so we got that going on now. Now I'm going to take I'm going to go back to this. Well, no, I don't like that either. I'm actually going to go back to like a 1/2 inch dagger brush. This one's a fairly new one, so it's not messed up like those other two. Burnt umber, maybe a little bit of purple blue, maybe a little bit of that red we had, scarlet. A little bit of white just to lighten it a little bit. I want to go in here and yeah, a little bit more white. It's got to show up. There we go. I'm just kind of doing some strokes that start making this look like rocks, and this mountain's got some rocky structures on the side of it here. I'm kind of letting it mix. I got to keep going back and dipping in because it's mixing with that paint that's underneath. It's got a little bit of a blue, because I got a lot of blue in that underpainting, but that's okay because this is still kind of far away, so it's going to have a little bit of a blue tone to it. Like I said before, things in the distance have a bluer tone, and the closer they move up to you, they start getting more red in tone. That, and I kind of want this in shadow too, like the light's kind of zinging through there, so this is almost backlit. When this dries, I'll add more highlight out on the very edge, but I'll keep this all kind of dark back in here, which makes it gives it the effect of some light kind of zinging through there. It's kind of cool, kind of tricky and kind of cool. People will be wondering how you did it. One thing to remember when oil painting, I'm hinting at things happening. A lot of times I'm not totally painting something in, I'm hinting at it, and then I'm letting the viewer's eye, I'm leaving it to their imagination to fill in the details. A lot of times somebody will look at a painting and they don't even realize that their own eye is kind of making it up for them, and that's what you want. I always like to tell my students I'm not God, so it's impossible for me to paint in every little detail. So I don't even try. I try to hint at it. A lot of times when you first start out as an artist, you try to paint every little detail, and the more you do it, the more you get that idea out of your head. Here I can kind of give the idea of some things happening just with some brush strokes. Kind of make it look like a couple of rock structures back in there. almost make this like it's its own cliff or whatever coming in front of that one that's farther back there, just by changing up the color a little bit. Bring it down into there. Rough it up a little bit though so it doesn't look smooth. I like the way this is happening already, starting to look pretty good. Alright, I'm going to go back to the phthalo blue and burnt umber. I don't know if this is going to show up or not, but we'll see. I might have to wait till it dries. Doesn't look like it's showing up too good. Might have to wait till this dries. Let's see if we can put some more tree shapes down here where they'll show up. Just in little areas. I like to leave some areas like rocky, where nothing's grown, and put some little tree shapes in other areas. A group of trees coming down here like this. Looks kind of good. Alright, I think we're going to let this dry, and we'll come back in another session and start adding the other side in and figure out what we're going to do in the foreground. But starting to look good. I really like the way that's looking. Until next session, paint out.